Paweł Borys, the CEO of Polish National Fund, at the opening session of the EEC Trends Conference in Warsaw, said that he expects inflation rate to fall quickly. If after the shocks this year we are able to consolidate this course, and I think this is a year of transition from strong turmoil to some stability in 2024, then perhaps we will return to this path of sustainable development from 3 to 4% growth every year, even with more stable inflation. According to him, this year's disinflationary trend will be strong, just as Poland has imported most of the inflation very fast, so the disinflationary trend will grow rapidly. I think in the next 6 months inflation will go below 10%. That seems to me to be a very solid medium and long-term outlook for the Polish economy. We need to be consistent in certain investment activities, said Borys. He believes Poland's most difficult period will soon be over. We survived the winter. There is coal, there is gas, he stressed. For him, the threat to energy security is also over. At the time of the pandemic, we were going through a period of 2 or 3 quarters of a recession. Then we had 8 quarters of a very dynamic recovery after the pandemic that lasted more or less until the 3rd quarter of last year. And now we are in a period of about 3 to 4 quarters of slowdown. But maybe now, at the turn of the 1st and 2nd quarters, we gave the worst moment in our economy because we are combining high inflation with low growth, he explained. Borys sees a certain amount of risk for consumption and for the financial situation of private households. It seems to me that we are in this scenario of what I would call a soft landing after the whole series of crises. In other words, the labor market should not have too much of an impact. In example, it should be stable, which is also what the data is showing. In his opinion, it is very important for Poland to efficiently implement, for example, National Recovery Plan. This will determine whether our country will develop at a rate of 2.5 GDP in the next 2-3 years, or the rate will grow from 3.5 to 4% of GDP. A month ago, Deputy Finance Minister Artur Soboń said that all forecasts indicate that inflation will fall to 1-digit levels by the end of this year. At the beginning of February, Soboń added that according to earlier forecasts by the Minister of Finance, the turn of the year and its first few months will probably be peak of the inflation. According to the budget law for 2023, the average annual inflation rate was set at 9.8%. And the increase in the average wage fund was assumed to be 7.8%. In 2022, annual inflation was 14.4%, the highest increase since 1997, according to the Central Statistical Office. By contrast, inflation in December last year amounted to 16.6% compared to December 2021. Polski Fundusz Rozwoju, or PFR, has about 15 billion zlotys to pre-finance the National Recovery Plan in 2023 with funds from the surplus from the fiscal shield. Paweł Borys informed that pre-financing has started. The funds from the KPO, or National Recovery Plan, must be used in the middle of 2026. A large part of this project are infrastructure and industrial investments, which take about 4 years to implement. So we have to start using these funds now. As a PFR, we have surplus from the financial shield. We are setting up to the pre-finance this investment. So we do not need to issue bonds. We expect it to be 15 billion Polish zlotys this year, assuming that there were no access to funds from KPO. If there is access to KPO, we'll naturally be less involved, says Borys. In his opinion, it's very important for Poland to efficiently implement for example, KPO's funds. In the past year, PFR earmarked approximately 2 billion zlotys for KPO pre-financing.